Hello and welcome everybody to the Profit Project interview series, where today we're talking all things Profit First implementers. And today I'm extremely excited to have the awesome Jade Allerby from Focus SME on the call to share her story of implementing Profit First. And it's one that I know pretty well because I know Jade from, when she first started out with her Profit First journey. So welcome to the show, Jade.
Thanks for having me, Craig. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you here. And before we do delve into the Profit First way of the world, I'd love for you to be able to share with somebody watching here today, what is your business? What do you do? How do you do it? Who do you help? And all those sorts of things.
Cool. So my business is Focus SME, and we provide social media marketing services to small to medium businesses. So we mostly work within the B2B service-based industries. And I've been running my business for about 2 years now. And social media marketing can include anything from helping a business develop a strategy around social media to maybe helping them set up some profiles, or maybe managing the day-to-day running of their accounts, or social media advertising. So we kind of help across all of those different areas depending on what the client's looking for.
Yeah, that's awesome, Jade. Really appreciate you sharing this. And for those that aren't aware, we do have a wider interview series where we are talking to experts in different spaces as well. And if you do want to learn a bit more about Jade and social media and generating growth, you can jump onto that generating growth interview series as well, and we can put some links into that from this video back to that conversation that we've had in the past as well. So, but we will move on from that, and we are going to talk about Profit First here today. So I'd love for you to share, how did you come across Profit First? As I touched upon, I know the story pretty well, but I'd love for you to share with somebody listening, watching today around, how did you come across it and why did it resonate with you?
So I came across Profit First through Craig. We're in a networking group together, and I'd never heard of the methodology before until I met Craig. But it did resonate with me because I was actually just starting out with my new business. My background is in marketing. I am not a finance person. I was really kind of struggling to get the finance side of the business down and really understand how I was doing and how I could scale my business. So hearing from Craig and all his great presentations and excellent catch-ups that we've had about Profit First really got me interested in the program.
Yeah, awesome. I think you've echoed a lot of sentiments from businesses starting out, and I'm interested in your experience around it as well. But often people are, very good at their space in their field, and admin and the finances is something that is kind of like, whoa, that's one of the new things starting out business. Like, whoa, what do I do here? I guess, what was your experience when it came to talking with, a general accountant? And most people get told to get an accountant when they start in business, and they often do that. How did you find that experience, and when you sort of wanted to delve a bit deeper and really understand those finances?
Well, I think in the beginning, when I started my business, I didn't really have an accountant for my business. I had somebody that I used to use to do my tax return, for my personal tax return. But that was about it. I didn't really have anyone that could provide me with guidance on, forecasting or cash flow or anything like that, or making sure I was kind of doing things correctly, even something as simple as putting tax away and things like that. I just started initially just by doing my own little bits of research and figuring out, I think I need to put this away for tax. I think I need to put this away for super, and just setting up my own little spreadsheet and just making sure that I was kind of saving some money for that. But I really didn't know if it was too much or not enough. And it wasn't until actually being in our networking group that I actually met another accountant. I met Craig, but I still feel like accountants are a little bit different to what Craig does. They're great for making kind of some other financial decisions or in relation to tax and things like that. But in terms of really being proactive and helping me understand my finances and helping me set goals, I think that's where the Profit First and Craig's services have been really valuable.
Yeah, awesome. Love that feedback. And again, once again, it's definitely something that we hear quite often at MintCD Consulting here, is around that starting out, getting an accountant that manages the tax side of things. And that's great. You do need awesome accountants that do that type of thing to make sure you only pay the tax that you should be and those types of things. But yeah, it's definitely something we've found with obviously Profit First is help people understand that next layer down below. But, you know, at the heart of it, Profit First is a fairly simple, straightforward idea, but also there are obviously some challenges in the actual implementation of it. When you first started, I guess what were some of the challenges that you experienced when you did start implementing Profit First?
I guess some of the challenges were really around understanding how it all worked, and being able to read the data and get my head around how things are structured. But having a great coach, it didn't take me too long to get my head around it. But I have found that, and I know other people in the program, sometimes I will also be able to help them get their head around it too. And might find that they have similar questions to what I had in the beginning. But yeah, it really wasn't too challenging. I think the most challenging thing was making the decision to go ahead and really understanding the difference between Profit First and accountants. That's probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to hear. Obviously, some people have challenges around the mechanics and some of those sorts of things, but it's so true that often even the layer before people get into the mechanics and the practicalities of what happens with Profit First, it is actually getting the head around it, and it's the understanding from the mindset side of things. So yeah, love you sharing that. That's really good and really something that I think is quite common with people as well. But, you know, fast forward, you know, you've been implementing for a number of months and sort of that now. What do you feel is the benefits and the outcomes have been with your implementation?
Oh, it's been so great. Just helping me get visibility in my business and be able to make financial decisions. Really before I'd kind of start my business, but I had no idea if it was going well, if I was at the right level for the size of my business. I didn't really know how I could scale. I wasn't sure if I had the money there to scale. I didn't know if I was putting enough money away for tax and super and things like that. So really Profit First has helped me to get clarity on that. And I can easily see all of my finances and exactly where they are. I can make decisions on being able to hire new people and easily see how that will impact my revenue in the future. So it's definitely been super valuable, especially around trying to make financial decisions and actually just getting a little bit excited about finances, because it's not something that I love. It's actually something that I hate doing. But actually with the Profit First system and all the calculators and things like that, I really love when I have to come and do allocations, and I love looking at my bank accounts several times a week, just seeing where all my money's going. So it has kind of made me a lot more passionate about finances.
I love that. You see, as you're talking there, I'm getting excited. I'm doing little punch airs. You know, us boring old accountants sitting here hearing people saying that they're excited about finances, and I love that. They put on. I'm going to snapshot that piece of this interview and put it on loop somewhere. I don't know. That's awesome. But I think what you touched on there, that visibility and clarity has been paramount to that, because it has been so clear and simple and straightforward as to what you see as the output of that, and knowing some of the decisions that you are making in the growth stage, which is the exciting part as well, because you've managed to set things up well, everything sort of is laid out there, and there is a whole lot of excitement. It's the financial support where you're thinking and you're looking. So yes, that's great. It's great to hear that, and long may that excitement about finances and your business growth continue. And that's what we love doing, is seeing that sustainable growth within businesses, which I've got a strong belief that obviously Profit First does help underpin all that as well. So covered a lot of cool stuff in a pretty short space of time there. But if I was to sort of, again, like to wrap things up into a couple of gold nuggets for people, or little sound bites that people might be interested in sort of hearing. If you're sort of giving one idea around profitability and or cash flow, a tip for somebody listening out there, what would that be around profitability and cash flow?
I guess it comes back to kind of having that visibility and understanding of your finances, so you can make financial decisions. And just knowing that you're profitable or not profitable, or where you need to change things to get to that place, I think has been super valuable. So my tip around profitability and cash flow is definitely to have a look at Profit First, because it's really been a game changer for my business. And I don't know what I would have done or where I would be without it, to be honest. It's really been great.
We'll definitely take that as a grab as well out of this interview. One tip: people must or should implement Profit First. And what I love is some of the stuff that you've alluded to there is, Profit First is great for even understanding the here and now, where your bank accounts sit and those sorts of things. But what we do here at Mint City Consulting, as you, Jade, can attest to, is we actually look at the forward planning of that, and we've actually got a cash flow tool that can actually help with that as well, to understand what the Profit First way of the world looks like. So that's some of the commentary there that you shared around the visibility and clarity. Sort of that is sort of great, how you sort of get some of that from both Profit First and some of the forecasting tools that we do use. So
and also, sorry to interrupt, just having peace of mind, particularly in times like we're in at the moment, knowing that you've got those finances there for a rainy day, or that you're going to be able to sustain the business, just because you've kind of been putting money aside for these kind of things as well. So definitely peace of mind has been really great.
Yeah, so true. And that is something that we do find. It's usually actually one of the early pieces that once people start to see that clarity, and they've got that, and they've got money put away for all these different aspects that frees their mind up, and they feel comfortable. So therefore they can go and focus on, what they actually really want to be in business for in the first place. So there are a couple of great shares there. Really appreciate you jumping on the call today, Jade, to be able to share your Profit First implementation story with us. If people do want to learn a little bit more about you as well and the social media side of things, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me personally on LinkedIn just by Googling Jade Allerby with 2 L's. But you can also follow my business, Focus SME, on Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm also happy to give any testimonials to Craig and Profit First methodology. If you want to reach out and you have any extra questions, I'd be more than happy to share more details on my experience as well.
Awesome, Jade. Thank you for that feedback, but also for sharing your contact details there, so that obviously we'll put all those links into the show notes so that people can track you down if they do want to reach out and connect, which I highly recommend. As Jade alluded to earlier there, we're part of networking groups and the like as well. And, come and join Jade, myself, and awesome other business owners as well, if people want to do that in the future. So that wraps us up for another installment of the Profit Project interview series on Profit First implementation. And if you want to continue following the videos just like these ones, learning more about, not only Profit First implementation, but generating growth and wonderful wealth, make sure you continue to follow us at theprofitproject.com.au. See you all next time. Bye.
Thanks, Craig.